Welcome to the AI podcast at DigitVIEW.
We're continuing our exploration of AI pattern recognition.
Have you ever found yourself wishing you had a truly personalized guide? Someone who understood your unique patterns so well they could predict your next challenge, maybe optimize your learning, or even help you make better decisions, all based on the intricate details of your life. Today, we're diving into a concept that's, rapidly moving from sci-fi to reality. Personal Human Growth AI, or PGAI. Imagine an intelligent system that's custom-tailored just for you. It's continuously learning from your data to offer really unparalleled, actionable insights for your growth across, every facet of life. Our mission in this deep dive is to explore how such an AI actually works, from how it sees your patterns to how it explains its reasoning. Then we'll unpack its incredible potential. Think areas like education, health, finance, even how we consume information. And of course, we have to look at the crucial ethical considerations. We need to make sure this powerful tech truly serves humanity. We pulled together some comprehensive research that examines the inner workings and future predictions for this kind of AI. So let's start right at the beginning. How does a machine actually see and understand patterns in our messy, unpredictable human lives? It's certainly not the same way a person sifts through memories or uses intuition, right?
You're absolutely right. It's a fundamentally different process. Human pattern recognition, it's often intuitive, subconscious, right? Like recognizing a friend in a crowd or sorting laundry just by feel.
Yeah, you just know.
Exactly. But machines, they approach this through mathematical logic. They don't see like we do. Instead, they translate everything into these numerical descriptions, almost like giving your sleep duration or heart rate or steps taken a numerical score.
Okay.
We call these feature vectors. They're the AI's data points that describe you, basically.
So it's like the AI's way of translating my messy, real-life human experiences into a spreadsheet it can actually understand. Is that kind of the idea?
That's a great way to put it, exactly. And the AI's real power lies in its ability to analyze millions, maybe billions of these feature vectors across immense data sets.
Wow.
And this lets it identify complex, non-obvious patterns that are, frankly, just beyond human perception. Think about it. It could connect subtle shifts in your sleep quality with, say, specific dietary habits. And then show how that impacts your cognitive performance later on, even if you hadn't noticed the link yourself.
A link I'd probably miss entirely.
Right. So this isn't just about collecting data. It's about making visible the invisible forces shaping your day. It allows you to finally understand the why behind maybe your energy dips or those sudden moments of focus. It's a level of self-awareness that was, previously impossible.
Making the invisible visible. I like it.
And that translation step. Taking your implicit lived experience and turning it into explicit machine-readable patterns. That's the foundation. It's called feature extraction.
Feature extraction. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's truly fascinating. But this AI, it doesn't just learn one way, does it? I read it has different learning styles, kind of adapted for different types of data and tasks.
That's a critical point, yeah. A personal growth AI wouldn't just use one learning approach, not at all. It integrates several powerful machine learning paradigms, into a synergistic continuous cycle.
Okay, like what?
Well, one way it learns is through supervised learning. Imagine you're teaching a child, right? To identify different animals. You show them a picture of a cat, you say, that's a cat.
You give them the answer.
You're providing the answer or the label, exactly.
Yeah.
The AI trains on data that's already labeled. So, for example, if you manually mark your journal entries with specific emotions,
Right.
the AI then learns to classify the sentiment of new unlabeled entries. Or it could predict a numerical value, like your stress level, from 1 to 10, based on maybe your calendar density and some biometric data.
So it's learning from examples you've already provided, essentially. But what about all the data in our lives that isn't neatly categorized? How does it make sense of, just the raw stuff?
Good question. That's where unsupervised learning comes in. This is more like an explorer discovering hidden structures in uncharted territory, data without predefined labels.
So it finds its own patterns.
Precisely. It finds inherent groups or it simplifies complex information. So it might say, group your digital device usage and your location data to figure out when you're in focused work mode versus socializing or maybe rest.
Oh, interesting.
Or it could take dozens of sensor readings from your wearable device and distill them down into a single understandable metric, something like a daily readiness score.
Makes sense. And there's a third type.
Yes, and then there's reinforcement learning. This is perhaps the most dynamic. It's all about learning through trial and error, much like how a person masters a new skill.
Learning by doing.
Exactly. The AI agent interacts with your environment, which is your daily life. It takes actions and it receives feedback. We can think of that feedback as rewards or penalties.
Right.
Its goal is to discover the best strategy, the best policy to help you achieve your goals. So, for example, it might experiment with different motivational messages to encourage you to complete, say, a learning module.
Trying different things to see what works on me.
Yeah, exactly. By seeing which messages actually lead to you completing it, the AI learns what's most effective for you specifically. It continuously refines its approach.
Wow. So it's constantly experimenting and improving itself in real time.
Yeah.
That's incredible. It's not just running some static program. It's actually evolving alongside me.
Precisely. A PGAI isn't a fixed model. Not at all. It's an adaptive system. It's capable of learning and self-correcting as your life, your goals, even your personality evolve over time. It literally rewrites parts of its own logic on the fly.
Rewrites its own logic.
Yeah. This continuous self-improving cycle is really at its core. Think of it as like a 5-step feedback loop constantly running.
Okay, walk me through it.
Right. First, there's data ingestion. It's continuously collecting real-time data wearables, mobile devices, calendars, your own input, whatever you give it. Then pattern recognition. That's where it analyzes that data to identify trends, correlations, maybe anomalies, things that stand out.
Finding the signals in the noise.
Exactly. After that, decision-making. It makes predictions, perhaps suggesting, high probability of burnout based on patterns it sees. Or it offers recommendations like maybe try a 15-minute mindfulness exercise.
Okay, so it acts on the patterns.
Then the fourth step, crucial one, feedback integration. It monitors the outcomes. Did you explicitly rate the recommendation as helpful? Or did it implicitly observe an improvement, maybe in your heart rate variability after that mindfulness session?
Ah, so it checks if its advice worked.
Right. And then it uses all that to get better. The final step is model evolution. It uses that feedback to update its internal logic, becoming more accurate and more personalized over time.
That continuous self-improving architecture that really enables the AI to be a lifelong growth partner, doesn't it? It's like having a dynamic, ever-learning co-pilot for your life.
That's a great analogy. And underpinning these advanced capabilities, especially for understanding really complex, unstructured stuff like human language or intricate biometric signals, that's where deep learning comes in.
Deep learning. Heard that term a lot?
Yeah, it's what allows the AI to interpret the nuances in, say, your journal entries, or understand your sleep stages from subtle sensor data. It helps it grasp the full context of your personal information. Many of these systems, they start with vast general knowledge, like a big foundation model you hear about.
Like GPT-4 or something similar.
Exactly. And then they fine-tune that knowledge with your specific data to create truly personal insights.
Okay, now that brings us to a really, really important point. Many complex AI models, they're often called black boxes, right? Because their decisions are so opaque. If this PGAI is going to be our lifelong partner, how do we ensure it isn't some opaque oracle, but actually a trusted, transparent guide?
That's a fundamental question, absolutely critical. And it's why explainable AI or XAI isn't just a nice-to-have feature for PGAI, it's an absolute requirement.
Why so essential?
Well, several reasons. First, it builds trust and confidence. You simply need to understand why the system is recommending potentially life-altering advice about your health, career, relationships to actually follow it, right?
Makes sense. You wouldn't trust advice you don't understand.
Exactly. Second, it allows for accountability and contestation. If you don't understand the reasoning, you can't critically evaluate it or challenge it or even reject a recommendation. And that's vital for preserving your human autonomy.
So you can push back.
Absolutely. Third, explanations help us debug and ensure fairness. They can highlight if the AI is making flawed or maybe biased recommendations. Perhaps it's unfairly influenced by certain demographic data, for instance.
Catching errors or biases. Crucial.
Very. And finally, maybe especially for a growth-oriented AI, the explanation itself is a powerful tool for learning and self-awareness. Just understanding why the AI identified a certain pattern in your life can offer self-insight that's potentially as valuable as the recommendation itself.
The explanation becomes part of the growth process.
Interesting. So how do we actually make these sophisticated systems transparent? How do they open up that black box for us? Yeah, it's quite clever, actually. For PGAI, we largely rely on methods that explain complex black box models after they've been trained. It's not always about using simpler models because they might not be accurate enough.
Okay, so you explain the complex one.
Right. And essentially, these advanced AI systems can give you different kinds of explanations depending on what's needed. Some are like a detective,
Yeah.
telling you exactly why a specific prediction was made just for you.
Like a specific reason for a specific piece of advice.
Exactly. For example, it might tell you, hey, this article on procrastination was recommended because you mentioned deadline stress and overwhelmed in your journal yesterday. And by the way, other users with similar patterns found this strategy helpful.
Okay, that's pretty clear.
Yeah. Other explanations are more like a financial analyst, quantifying how much each factor contributed to a certain outcome. So it might show you, look, your stress score increased mainly due to poor sleep quality contributing plus 0.3, high calendar density adding plus 0.2, but decreased physical activity actually helped a bit, negative 0.1.
Breaking it down by factor, I see.
And some even play what if. They show you what you could change to get a different result. This is incredibly actionable.
How so?
Like, it might say, your goal progress is currently at risk, but if you manage to complete just one more 30-minute study session this week, you'll be right back on track.
Wow, that's direct. And really useful.
It is.
Yeah.
This shift is incredibly powerful. You're moving from just getting an answer to truly understanding the journey to that answer.
Understanding the why and the how.
But what's truly transformative here, and this is a key development, is realizing that a technically accurate explanation isn't always the most useful one for a person.
Meaning?
Meaning, it might be correct, but maybe too complex, or delivered at the wrong time, or just not relevant to your immediate need. This realization led to the shift from just explainable AI, XAI, to human-centered explainable AI, or HCXAI.
Human-centered. Okay, so HCXAI focuses on designing explanation systems that aren't one-size-fits-all, but actually tailor the content, the format, maybe the timing of explanations to me, the specific user, and my current context.
You've got it. It asks not just what the AI did, but who is this explanation for? Why do they need it right now? When is the best time to give it? And how should it be presented?
That sounds incredibly personalized.
It is. HCXAI dynamically adapts based on a deep understanding of you. It considers your long-term traits, like your cognitive abilities.
How would that work?
Well, maybe favoring visual explanations if you learn better that way, or using simpler presentations to avoid cognitive overload if that's helpful for you. It even looks at personality traits.
Like if I prefer lots of detail.
Exactly. If you have a high need for cognition, as psychologists call it, it'll offer more detailed, nuanced explanations. Others might just prefer concise summaries. It adapts.
And short-term states, too.
Crucially, yes. It adapts to your short-term states. If the system detects you're stressed or tired, perhaps from your heart rate variability or just how you're interacting, it provides simply more direct explanations to avoid adding to your cognitive load right then. And of course, it tailors explanations to your current goals and your domain knowledge, offering foundational info for a novice learning something new and much more advanced insights for an expert in that area.
So the optimal explanation isn't necessarily the most complete one.
Exactly. It's the one that is most meaningful and actionable for you, right there at that moment.
That concept alone is a game changer. An explanation tailored just for me, just for now. Okay, let's talk about some real-world applications. How can PGAI transform something like education? Moving beyond those traditional one-size-fits-all systems into a truly holistic, lifelong learning journey.
Yeah, education is a huge one. In education, PGAI essentially acts as an incredibly dynamic personal tutor for every learner. Through its pattern recognition, it analyzes your learning interactions, it tracks your conceptual understanding, identifies specific knowledge gaps.
Finds where you're struggling.
Precisely. And it can even pinpoint your optimal learning styles. Maybe you learn better through videos or practice problems or reading. It could even forecast potential dropout risks just by detecting declining engagement over time.
Wow. Proactive intervention.
Exactly. And the adaptive intervention part means it continuously tailors your curriculum. It adjusts difficulty in real time, provides personalized exercises, recommends optimized learning pathways just for you.
Is this actually happening?
Oh, yes. We've seen incredible evidence from programs like Personalized Adaptive Learning, PAL, in Andhra Pradesh, India. Students there gained the equivalent of 1.9 additional years of learning in just 17 months.
That's astounding.
It is. And existing platforms like Newton, Dreambox, they're already leveraging these principles. But the HCXAI layer here is key.
The explanation part.
Right. It provides pedagogical explanations like, hey, we're revisiting derivatives because the system noticed you struggled to apply it in that physics problem yesterday. Here's a visual analogy that might help click. This doesn't just teach you the subject, it empowers you to understand how you learn best.
That sounds incredibly powerful for transforming how we learn, truly. Now let's switch gears to health. How does PGAI enable that shift we always talk about, from reactive treatment to proactive, personalized health and prevention?
Health is another prime area. For health, PGAI works by establishing a highly personalized baseline just for you, your unique normal. It synthesizes data from everywhere, wearables, heart rate, sleep, but also electronic health records, your logged nutrition, mood, maybe even genomic information down the line.
Creating a really detailed picture.
A very detailed, dynamic picture. And the insight here is profound. It detects subtle deviations from your personal normal. This allows for early identification of warning signs for chronic conditions or even acute issues, often long before you'd notice them yourself, or even before a standard checkup would catch them.
Catching things early. That's huge.
It is. Then, for adaptive intervention, it serves as kind of a 247 health coach. It provides personalized, data-driven guidance on nutrition, fitness, stress management, sleep hygiene tailored to your current state and goals. It can automate medication reminders, offer motivational support.
Are there examples of this now?
We're seeing glimpses. Platforms like Lark, they focus on chronic disease management using AI coaching. WE Coach uses GPT-4 to provide fitness insights based on your wearable data. It's starting.
And the explainability must be critical here, too.
Absolutely crucial for trust and adherence in health. Instead of getting a vague alert like high stress detected.
Which just makes you more stressed.
Exactly. You'd get a transparent justification. Something like, okay, your resting heart rate is 15% above your 30-day average, and your sleep performance score was low last night. These patterns for you often indicate high physiological stress. Maybe consider a light activity day to day and try that 10-minute mindfulness session you like.
Specific, actionable, and explains the why. Empowers you.
Precise.
And that's where the true power really comes in, isn't it? When you start integrating data across different domains, like connecting your calendar stress, your email load, and your fitness tracker data. A user who connects more data gets, well, exponentially more profound and interconnected insights, I imagine.
That's the vision, a truly holistic view.
So we've seen how PGAI could transform education and health. Pretty amazing stuff. But you're suggesting the true potential of this kind of AI is realized by applying its framework across the entire spectrum of human experience. Let's maybe look at a few more examples of that.
Indeed. The framework is broadly applicable. Think about human behavior and just our nature. PGAI can act as a mirror for your mind. It can make unconscious behavioral patterns, even cognitive biases, visible to you.
How would it do that?
Using natural language processing, maybe analyzing your journal entries, emails, even how you interact online. It could identify cognitive biases you might exhibit, like confirmation bias.
Where we favor info that confirms what we already think.
Exactly. Or anchoring bias. It could even map out your habit loops, the cues, routines, and rewards that drive your daily actions, good or bad.
See your own mental shortcuts and habits laid out.
Yeah. And then the explainable intervention provides these gentle metacognitive nudges. For instance, it might suggest, hey, this article you're reading aligns very strongly with viewpoints you've engaged with recently. To maybe mitigate confirmation bias, here are 2 articles from reputable sources with a different editorial stance on the topic.
A nudge towards broader perspective.
Exactly. Or for habits. Just reminding you to take that short walk now. Why? Because your energy levels typically dip around this time, and the data shows a short walk has consistently improved your focus for the following 2 hours afterwards. It connects the action to the benefit for you.
Wow. Okay, what about something like personal finance?
Human economics and finance, yeah. PGAI can act as a dynamic, personalized financial advisor and literacy coach. It analyzes your transaction data, categorizes spending, identifies recurring subscriptions, detects maybe impulsive financial behavior patterns.
Finds where the money's going.
Right. And forecasts cash flow, tracks progress toward your financial goals like saving for a house or retirement. Then it translates all that complex data into simple, actionable insights. Apps like Tendi and Clio are already doing versions of this.
Give me an example of the insight.
It might tell you, okay, this month, your spending on subscription services hit $75. That's actually 40% higher than your 6-month average. Looking closer, you haven't used these 2 services at all. By canceling them, you could save $300 over the next year, which fully funds that weekend trip goal you set.
Connecting the spending pattern directly to the goal. Very motivating.
Makes it tangible. Now think about the realm of human politics and how we consume information today.
Oh boy, that's a tricky one.
It is. But PGAI could become a vital tool here for critical thinking and media literacy. It could analyze your browsing history, social media feeds, news consumption. Not to judge, but to detect potential filter bubbles or echo chambers.
Those information silos that limit our perspectives.
Exactly. And identify patterns where you might be repeatedly exposed to misinformation or maybe just heavily biased framing of issues. It acts as that metacognitive mirror again, fostering awareness of your information diet and your own potential biases.
How might it intervene?
It could maybe provide a dashboard visualizing the diversity of your news sources, or offer a gentle nudge. Just noting, over 80% of the political articles you've read this week have been from left-leaning sources. Would you like a summary of this current topic from a reputable center-right source for comparison?
Interesting. Helping you understand your own biases without telling you what to think. Empowering informed choices.
That's the goal. And one more, maybe. Environment and nature patterns. PGAI could connect your daily choices, what you buy, how you travel, to your broader environmental impact, fostering a sense of agency and responsibility.
Calculating my carbon footprint automatically.
A dynamic, personalized carbon footprint, yeah, by analyzing purchasing data, food choices, air travel, utility data, transportation patterns. And then the explainable intervention provides concrete, actionable recommendations, inspired by apps like Greenly, perhaps.
Like what?
It could say, good job. Your grocery purchases this week had a carbon footprint 20% lower than your average. This was mainly because you substituted beef with chicken for 2 meals, which saved the equivalent emissions of driving about 50 miles.
Making sustainable living feel really tangible and meaningful.
Yeah.
Connecting my actions to a larger impact.
Exactly, linking the micro choices to the macro picture.
It's really clear from all this. PGAI has just immense potential, truly immense, to enhance human potential, not just as a tool, but as a genuine cognitive partner, translating life's incredibly complex patterns into understandable, actionable insights across so many areas.
It really does. But this raises an important question, maybe the most important question. For all this remarkable potential, what are the profound ethical challenges we absolutely must address to ensure responsible innovation, to ensure a truly symbiotic future, not a dystopian one?
Right. The flip side, what are the big risks?
Well, first and foremost, privacy and security. This system runs on vast amounts of incredibly sensitive personal data. We need privacy-preserving machine learning techniques baked in from the start.
Like what kind of technique?
Things like federated learning, where the AI model trains directly on your device so your raw data ideally never leaves it. And differential privacy, which adds statistical noise to data outputs to prevent individuals from being re-identified. Security has to be paramount.
Okay, privacy by design. What else?
We also need to rigorously audit for algorithmic bias and fairness. These systems learn from data, and data reflects societal biases. We have to ensure the advice PGAI gives, especially in critical areas like health, finance, or career guidance, is equitable and doesn't perpetuate or even amplify existing societal biases.
How do we manage that?
It requires diverse development teams, ongoing vigilance, and specific fairness metrics during training and testing. It's a constant effort. Then there's the crucial risk regarding preservation of human autonomy.
The risk of becoming too dependent on it, losing our own judgment.
Exactly. The risk of over-reliance, the erosion of critical thinking skills. If the AI always has the best answer, why bother thinking for ourselves? Here, that human-centered explainability, HCX AI, is really our primary defense.
So.
Because it encourages you to critically engage with the AI's reasoning. It presents the why so you can evaluate it, question it, override it. It helps ensure the ultimate authority always resides with the human user, you.
Keeping the human in the loop and in charge.
Critically important. And finally, we face the significant risk of socioeconomic inequality, creating a new kind of AI divide.
How would that play out?
Well, without proactive policy and efforts towards equitable access, the ability to effectively collaborate with a powerful PGAI could become, frankly, the most important determinant of personal and professional success. This could massively widen the gap between the privileged who can afford and leverage these systems and the marginalized who cannot.
A future where success depends on having the best AI coach.
It's a real concern. This necessitates global cooperation. Regulations like the frameworks UNESCO is developing, promoting equitable access, and investing in universal AI literacy programs so everyone can benefit, not just a select few. These are conversations we absolutely need to be having right now as this tech develops.
Absolutely critical conversations. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. As you reflect on all this, what patterns might be hidden in your life right now? Patterns that, if understood through a system like this, could potentially unlock your next big leap, your next stage of growth. And perhaps more importantly, how do we as a society ensure that this incredibly powerful technology ultimately helps everyone make that leap?
Thank you for joining us for this broadcast.
Searching for answers to unanswered questions. Thanks for stopping by.
This is DigitView.